Allouis. I'm the CEO and founder of YellowScan. And I'm very proud to be with you today to talk to you about bathymetry, because I started my career like 20 years ago. And my first job was signal processing for bathymetric LiDAR. And then 20 years after, I'm really proud to be here with you to explain how we have developed a technology that is now revolutionizing the bathymetric LiDAR from drone to answer societal challenges. So I'll start by a few words about our company. So we are a French company based in the south of France, close to Montpellier. And we design, build, and commercialize 3D mapping tool for drones. So we have pioneered the UAV drone in UAV LiDAR industry since 2012. At that time, there were no DJI. There was just barely a few flying automatic drones. And we are already working with the LiDAR technology that we take from automotive and the robotic industry. So we are a self-financed and employee-owned company because we believe that in order to align the objective between workers and shareholders, it's good that workers are also shareholders. So we are all moving on the right direction, building up the company, sharing the profits. So that's why we have opened our capital to our employee. And every year we open a little bit of the share to them. That's the one that want to join us in the journey. So today we are 80 people on 4 continents. We have our headquarters in south of France, and we have also a subsidiary in the US and one in Japan. And we rely on a worldwide network of distributors to resell our products. Research and development is always at the heart of our project because that's what drives us to fight against the competition that's always pushing. But we want to stay ahead of, mainstream. What's the current offer that we have today is composed by 3 pillars. First pillar is a hardware, LiDAR plus camera system. We have a full range of products depending on the performance or the budget for any kind of clients for different applications. We also have a software offer. You can see on the down, it's called YellowScan Cloud Station. Is a 3D software to generate point cloud, process it, improve it, and output deliverables. And then the third pillar is customer support, because we believe that it's very important for the company to support our users around the world when they are in the field and if they are facing any trouble. We need to be there to support them for them to get the best out of our solutions. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with LiDAR, I'm going to start with a small video. So this is not bathymetric, this is topographic. And it's also south of France called the Pont du Gard. It's an ancient Roman bridge that was built to carry some water into the city of Nîmes. And as you can see, so that's a 3D point cloud. So every point has the GPS coordinates to the centimetric positioning. And it's very helpful, this technology, because it can see through vegetation. So here is a Mediterranean vegetation, not so tall, but very dense. But still, the LiDAR can see through. I will just remove all the vegetation, and you can see some paths that was completely hidden into the vegetation. You can even see some stairs over there that were completely non-visible when you fly above with an airplane or cameras. So penetrating into vegetation, now I will make a cross-section with our software. Very easy with one click, we remove all the vegetation. A couple of clicks, we can have a cross view. Here we are mapping in quite large area, so of course smaller than airborne project, but really dedicated with the drone project where you can easily mobilize the thing that is in your trunk of your car. While the light is a bit blurry, but here we can see that we have detected all the ground everywhere, even below heavy vegetation, even in the ditches. But the problem is, here is the river, and we just get no data. And the next is, what's happening over there? We want to know what depth, what the shape of the river bed is like. So this is why we have developed the YellowScan Navigator. So I'm sure everyone now agrees that the climate is changing, right? So the seasons are drier, followed by heavy rains that provoke some flooding. And at some point, it's very important to understand how this climate change is impacting a sensitive area. Sensitive area could be natural areas that could dramatically change by flooding, like removing area for natural area, like biodiversity and so on, but also for human urbanized area, such as this village, which is built very, very close to the shore, and by rising sea level, it put in danger this area. Probably some families will have to move to another place at some point because it's too dangerous. Insurance cannot cover this. So how do we address this? We address this by mapping waterbed and land to monitor, model, and mitigate coastal erosion, flood hazard, and biodiversity habitat. So this is the framework of our mission. And bathymetry is obviously not new. It has been used from thousands of years, using a lead and a rope to understand where the ship can go. Can I enter this? Can I park there? Basically. Fortunately, more recent technology has been developed, like the one you can see on the top with the total station and a guy with a pole crossing the river. But you can imagine how dangerous it is, and what's the limitation. It's basically limited to 1.5 meter depth, basically. There is more recent technology starting from the 70s, which is called LiDAR Bathymetry. Usually, traditional technique involve a ship with a multi-beam or sonar, but the problem is getting too close to the shore is too dangerous for these boats. And this is where LiDAR, airborne LiDAR bathymetry, was invented, and they are able to carry on bathymetric measurement even with the shallow water, which is basically 0 to 5 meter depth. There's also more recent technology, such as this yellow boat that you might find somewhere in this hall. But the problem with those ones is there's very limited swaths in shallow rivers, and you have to do a lot of back and forth in order to cover the area. And sometimes it's not even deep enough for this to navigate. That's exactly where the LiDAR really makes sense. So YellowScan has developed this innovative technology by miniaturizing the bathymetric LiDAR. It's designed to map shallow water from a drone, where the conventional techniques are even too expensive or not even able to operate, as I mentioned before. It has unprecedented performance for its class, because performance are somewhere close to the more airborne, bigger system, but it's designed to be carried by a drone, and it can even be carried by the Matrix 400 from DJI. It's 100% developed by YellowScan and produced in France. Those are the basic specification. It's 3.7 kilos with a 40-degree field of view with 20 kilohertz laser pulse, and it's providing 3D mapping with a precision of 3 centimeters. It has the depth capability of 2 seki, which means what you can see with your eyes, the laser can go twice deeper than this. So back to the cross-section, where we used to have the orange and gray area only, which is above water. Here we have the water surface in blue, and the white points are related to the bottom of these small harbor areas. So it can see through the vegetation to have a complete 3D model of the ground. So back to 3D point cloud with the Bathymetric. This one also sees through vegetation. You can see vegetation is orange. This has been classified by our software. And by a single click, we can remove the vegetation. We still see some features which are located below vegetation. But here, the interesting thing, you can see through water, which was blue, so now I remove. And then we have a complete 3D model, seamless between land and bottom of the river. Here is another cross-section, the red one. That's showing up here, vegetation in orange, the ground in gray, and the riverbed in white. And this flight was just only like 10 minutes flight to cover this area. With also, let's say, like 10 minutes data processing, you are ending up with a complete survey of this area. I want to go on with my presentation. We show you actual case studies carried on by our customers. So our customer, Visionaire, has carried some coastal erosion monitoring for their customer in order to monitor and protect the coastline. As you can see on the picture on the right side, there's the coastal erosion that's basically like eroding the beach. On the right side, it's still sandy, but on the left side, there's a lot of erosion. This is protected by this man-made structure. But the sand is moving a lot, and it's necessary to map very often this area for scientists to monitor the effects of this coastal erosion. So why have they been using YellowScan Navigator? It's because they can quickly cover this beach and survey multiple times. And particularly, they wanted to survey the transition between the land and the underwater part. That's what they have been able to do with the Navigator. With other, let's say, boat technique, you can get what is underwater, but you don't get what is above water. With this, you just fly above and you get the complete coverage at once. Another case study is carried by our other customer, Spectrofly. It's a stream surveying. When you want to survey like shallow river like this, it's very difficult. Sometimes you have to send people with the pole and the total station, making section or with the GPS. But it's very time consuming, it's pretty dangerous also. And also it's quite impossible to get the complete coverage. So you just have to make some transect every 10 or 15 meters. So it's not really efficient manner of doing. So that's why they carry on the Navigator to make hydrological modeling for flood risk assessment and aquatic habitat monitoring. So they were able to get high accuracy elevation data on the entire stream and eliminating or reducing the need for point-by-point collection. The guys still collected the GCPs with their traditional technique, and they were able to prove that the LiDAR technology is perfectly matching the ground control points. But the good thing is now they have a complete coverage with so many individual points instead of their traditional survey that would be just those transects and a couple of points. So with this, hydrologists are really getting some data that they can leverage to make very detailed and precise modeling. Last case study is a harbor surveying by our distributor, Scandinavian Drone. Sediment monitoring before dredging the harbor area. They wanted to understand if it's deep enough for the boat to come into this harbor. The image on the right is the digital elevation model. The color range from light yellow to red. The blue is the deepest part, and the red is the highest part. And so you can see the shape become darker is the more elevation. So why they leverage YellowScan for this is because they can get the complete coverage inside the water or on the land with one flight. And for them, it was a quick and easy operation, enabling frequent survey in order to monitor the dynamics of the seabed. So looking ahead to the future, for YellowScan, we always want to push technology further. So we are really proud to release and have released this system. But still, we want, of course, to be lighter, for the laser to go deeper. So that's what we are working on. And also leveraging new technologies such as AI or machine learning to enhance the data analysis. And we are always eager to collaborate with industry, academy, or government to push the boundary of innovation. So please, if you have any case study or you want to have unanswered challenges, just come talk to us and we want to figure out how we can help. So in order to conclude my presentation, I have introduced you a tool that provides accurate underwater mapping, which is essential for managing coastal and river environments, supporting environmental protection, and ensuring safety of navigation and operation, and also economic benefits. YellowScan Navigator is addressing the limitation of the traditional bathymetric survey by providing quick, comprehensive, high-resolution, and high-accurate mapping from drones. So the last sentence is not from me, it's from my customer, saying that this technology is really for them a game changer and is likely to become the standard in the industry for the shallow water mapping. I thank you very much for listening to me. We are on the first floor, booth E001. If you want to stop by, my team will be really happy to discuss with you about how we can answer your question and your challenges. Thank you very much.